we are going to bring everything into alignment at the end of the season, and the cage will be touched on. But in ways that I think are hopefully surprising and unexpected. I think one of the things that I've really enjoyed in my time working on Star Trek is looking at stories that have been told, but then really examining them for the gray areas, the areas where certain things can be filled in or built on without violating canon. So that's a big part of what we're doing this season. Spock, in many ways. I mean, look, my heart is always with Michael Burnham. Her journey, that's the one that's most accessible to me as a writer when I sit down to write a script. But I think that I am very excited about Spock this season because this is literally the only season in which we can tell this story about Spock. So there's a big reason to do it now, and I'm excited about that. I'm excited for people to get to see that.
So Rue's arc is also, I mean, they're all good.
Yeah.
But Doug Jones is such a gift. They're all a gift. I mean, again, it's like I say that and then I'm like, but I mean, you'll see I'm literally weeping watching like a rough cut. I mean, he's just such a beautiful soul. You see it, right? Like that's him. And through all that latex, you still see it. But his story is pretty spectacular.
What gets me so excited about the story that we get to tell with Spock this season is that it is the unwritten chapter of Spock. This is not the Spock that you know from the beginning of TOS. It's pre-TOS. He is not that formed Vulcan yet. His experience with the Red Angel and the signals has fried his logical brain. He cannot make sense of it. And he is emotionally ill-equipped to deal with it. So both logic and emotion are failing him totally. And he is totally unsure of himself and trying to figure out how to make sense of the mystery and where he fits into the world. And it's through his complicated relationship with his sister that he's able to figure out how to become and actualize himself as the Spock that we know from TOS. And that's really exciting to us because it in no way violates canon. It just builds on what's been said before. I really credit the Roddenberrys and Rod Roddenberry for not only was she a critical character on Star Trek, she also happened to be his mother. So he was very supportive and, really has been nothing but supportive. So yes, obviously we had to be delicate and careful in what we were doing, but the truth is he didn't know much about number one. So there's a lot of room to build. You'll have to watch and see. You will see a few planets this season, yeah. Talos. We're going to Talos. No, I think we always had certain pillars. Here's how I like to structure a season when you're in the room. You spend the first couple of months talking about what you want the show to be, and you ideally decide on an outcome. We want the finale to be here. This is where we want to end them. And so once you know that, you can reverse engineer your season very strategically to get to that outcome. It's really critical. So I always think of it as like there are going to be 4 major pivot points that I want to identify at the beginning to know how to get to that place. But I don't want to fill in too many of the gaps, because if I fill in too many of the gaps, it doesn't leave any room to be surprised as we continue to break story throughout the season. So it's a matter of having a structure that allows you the freedom to improvise. Yeah, there's a ton. There's a woman who came in named Michelle Paradise, who's fantastic. Alan McElroy is amazing. Eric and Bowie have been incredible this year. I could go on and on about each one, but
we have an amazing staff.
Yeah, they've been amazing.